How's everybody doing? So I just want to point out this with this short clip, these awesome TC Train Group barrels and pallets. Let me just first point out, I was trying to collect a bunch of 55-gallon drums, and being the discerning modeler that I am at times, call it OCD, whatever, these I found to be about the best there is. They really are the NJ International. So here's the problem. I bought this last set months and months ago, and they're no longer in production, right? Like they're just back ordered or actually not available. Now I could be wrong about that. Maybe there are a lot of these around, this kit number 6120. However, good news, okay? Even though NJ International makes awesome stuff, TC Train Group makes this. These are it. I swear these are the same 55-gallon drums. The lids are exact, the wood and the metal, and that's the part number right there. And when I see these, I grab them because these are the most awesome 55-gallon drums made, I think, in HO scale. And they're the easiest and smallest model you'll ever build, but they're the most authentic in terms of just the scale and the ribs around the barrels. These are really easy to paint. I'll just describe to you how I paint them. They're really simple. And then these decals here, I'll tell you about that in a second. So here's a bunch more of the barrels, and here's a paint stick with a bunch on that I've been using. I don't know the part number to the pallets, but these are also by TC Train Group. I've just been working so fast and pumping through small details, I just lose track of stuff. But look up TC Train Groups anywhere, like online, and it's all listed there. So you'll be able to find them. It'll give you the part number. So these pallets are really cool too. They're just two parts. They're very easy to assemble, and they're as good as they get. In fact, they're probably better than you can scratch build. I've scratch built some before, but these are even finer. And they're not so fiddly. They're very fiddly to scratch build, and they're cheap enough to buy in numbers. So the TC pallets and 55-gallon drums, and you can create this kind of look almost in any period because they have the wooden lids as well. Now, here's the decals I use for the labels. They're not all authentically listed. Like these are microscale number 87975, hashtag no sponsor. Hazardous materials placards for freight cars, right? From 1945 to 1970. Now this is around 2010 period that I'm modeling, or later. But it doesn't really matter because a lot of the text and the font is not discernible on the decal. Like they're so small, right? But there are ones that are, and they just simply say dangerous on them or flammable or whatever. So more than half of them that are clearly red will work in any period, I think, for barrels. And then the really small font ones you can't read anyway, it's illegible. Well, it probably isn't a microscope, but who's going to know, right? And look how they come out. Aren't they awesome? And they're simple and cheap too, right? But big impact because of details. So I take a stick. Remember how I told you about tape? I just put the masking tape on backwards, sticky side, line them all up. I just airbrush them all like black, like I did the black first. And then I put masking tape over, just a bit over top, and then I did a section of blue. There you can see 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 blues, I think. And a couple of silvers I hand painted. And then I did 10 green ones and then a few red ones with the white. Like these are probably older period, but it doesn't matter, right, to throw the odd red one in. And then all I did for the top is once they were spray painted, you could probably spray these with a spray bomb or rattle can too, no problem, right? Is I just took some Vallejo aged white or whatever, just flood a bit of water in the top of the can, like water with a bit of flow agent, like I do wet on wet, and just drop in some white pigment, from Vallejo, and it'll just go poof like that. And if you're gentle with each application, just a drop and manipulate it a bit, they'll all be different. And they look exactly like drums do. See that? And you can use, that's burnt umber over the white. Like once I did the white, then I used the good old burnt umber. So white burnt umber on the lids, and they're good to go, right? Okay. So little TC Train Group 55-gallon drums and pallets to add details to your model railroad or your diorama. Really make the scene pop, okay? Cheers, happy modeling, and I hope that you have a great day.